please all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'd like to call the work session of the Wyoming Area School Board to order, August 17, 2021. Mr. Marinacci, can you read the communications report, please?
Certainly. Luzerne Intermediate Unit Number 18 submitting minutes of regular meeting on June 16, 2021. Westside Career and Technology Center submitting minutes of Joint Operating Committee meeting June 28, 2021. Ellen Quinn, on behalf of the West Pittston Borough Council, requesting permission to use the Secondary Center Auditorium for a public meeting. Rick Branco submitting his letter of resignation as head boys soccer coach. Amy Esposito, secondary math teacher, requesting permission to take a sabbatical leave. Catherine Mahady, second grade teacher, requesting permission to take a medical leave of absence. Deborah Heinzelmeyer, cafeteria personnel, submitting her letter of resignation. Sharon Hollister, Wyoming Area Music Sponsors, requesting permission to hold a designer purse bingo fundraiser. That is communications.
Thank you, Mr. Marinacci. Mr. Boland, can you read the finance report, please?
Yes. Finance report. Item 1, receive the following checks. Berkheimer income tax as listed, a total of $100,144.35. State and federal subsidy payments as listed for a total of $307,025.21. Local realty transfer tax of Luzerne County, $25,683.53. Wyoming County, $1,470, totals $27,153.53. Delinquent real estate tax, Wyoming County, $19,153.63. Item 2, discuss to approve the August payment of $61,277.10 to the Westside Career and Technology Center for the 2021-2022 school year. Item 3, discuss to approve the renew the management advisory service agreement between the Albert D. Malone Company, certified public accountants, and the Wyoming Area School District. The contract is for a one-year period from July 1, 2021 through June 30, 2022. The contract is at the amount of $115,003.64. This amount is calculated at a prior year contractual rate with no increase. The agreement is subject to the review of the district superintendent and the solicitor. Item 4, discuss to approve the intergovernmental agreement between Luzerne Intermediate Unit Number 18 and Wyoming Area School District 2021-2022 IDEA allocation based on December 1, 2020 IDEA child account. The estimated allocation is $448,661. Item 5, discuss to approve the August 2nd, 2021 retainment agreement of Joyce, Carmody, and Moran, PC, pending DL/WASD litigation matter. Item 6, discuss to approve the agreement with Children's Service Center in Wyoming Area School District for the 2021-2022 school year. The partial hospitalization program is $126.50 per day, and the therapeutic educational program is $167 per day. Added fees may be charged due to serious acuity situations. Item 7, discuss to approve the step placements for the following temporary professional employees. Jennifer Cave, Masters, Step 4, $51,482. Marla Moses, Bachelor's plus 18, Step 5, $47,127. Item 8, discuss to approve step placements for the following professional employees. Brianna Litzy, Masters plus 60, Step 6, $67,492. Laura Wysocki, Bachelor's plus 18, Step 4, $45,627. And that concludes the finance report.
Thank you, Mr. Boland. Any questions from the board on the finance report? Any questions from the audience on the finance report? Thank you. Mrs. Yocum, could you read the education report, please?
Yes. Item 1, reporting as federal regulations of requirement that the district's federal programs Title I, Title II, and drugs and alcohol have been planned for the 2021-2022 school year. Anyone desiring information regarding these programs, contact Janet Serino, Superintendent at the district's business office. 2, discuss to approve the professional substitute list for the 2021-2022 school year. 3, discuss to approve the request of Amy Esposito, semester of the 2021-2022 school year at a step placement of bachelor's plus 24, step 4, $46,731 prorated according to duration of assignment. Number 5, discuss to approve the request of Catherine Mahidi, second grade teacher, to take medical leave of absence for the 2021-22 school year. 6, discuss to approve the appointment of Amy Biala as a long-term substitute teacher for Karen Schweitzer, first grade teacher for the 2021-2022 school year at a step placement of master's plus 0, step 4, $51,482. That's the education report.
Thank you, Ms. Yocum. Anyone from the board have any questions on the education report? Anyone from the audience have any questions on the education report? Thank you. Mr. D'Angelo, could you read the activities report, please?
Yes, activity report, number 1, accept with regret Rick Broncos submitting the letter of resignation as head boys soccer coach. Number 2, discuss to approve appointment of the following coaches and volunteer coaches for the 2021-2022 fall sports season, provided the season is not canceled due to COVID related purposes. Salary as per collective bargaining agreement, and they're as listed. Number 3, discuss to approve the appointment of the following assistant coaches and volunteer coaches for the 2021-2022 winter sports season, provided that the season is not canceled due to COVID-19 related purposes. Salary as per collective bargaining agreement, and they are as listed. Number 4, discuss to approve the request of Sharon Hollister, Wyoming area music sponsors, to hold a designer purse bingo fundraiser in the secondary cafeteria on February 6th of 2022, and from 8 o'clock a.m. to 8 p.m. Actual bingo time is 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. pending approval by the building principal and cafeteria manager, Class A. Snow date is February 20th of 2022. And that is the activity report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. D'Angelo. Anyone from the board have any questions on the activities report? Anyone from the audience have any questions on the activities report? Mr. Stofko, could you read the building report, please?
Absolutely. Number 1, discuss to approve the support personnel substitute list for the 2021-2022 school year. 2, discuss to approve the request of Ellen Quinn on behalf of the West Pittston Borough Council to use the secondary center auditorium for a public meeting regarding the FEMA flood map Tuesday, August 31st, 2021, 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. The borough will pay security for and custodian costs. 3, accept with regret the resignation of Deborah Heinzelmeier as cafeteria personnel effective immediately. That concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Stofko. Anyone from the board have any questions on the building report? Any questions from the audience on the building report? If there's no other questions, I'll now open the floor for any discussion.
Approaches Dan?
Yes.
Good evening. I'm John Bonin, and I'm here to present a letter to the board from the Parents Association that fully funds the Wyoming Area Lacrosse Boys and Girls Team, that we will be submitting in writing our intent to present or submit a plan based on how the board should choose. A plan in September, October, the board meeting where the school district, beginning in July of 2022, will entirely fund both the boys and the girls program. So we'll be submitting that in September, October. As to how the board would choose, we could present it or we could submit the proposal in writing.
I'm sorry, John, I couldn't hear
Oh.
what you were asking with your mask.
Sorry, we'll be submitting, Janet, for the board, but we ask that the board, over the next several months, prior to July of 2022, considering picking up and administering the Boys and the Girls Lacrosse program within the
Okay.
district. Okay?
And John, you could do those either way. I think, obviously, submit it in writing, it would be
Right.
listed on our communications, and then if you'd like to come in
Sure.
when that's being considered, or during public comment like you did tonight,
Okay,
that's fine too.
okay,
So, I mean, you do it, probably better to do it both ways.
okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the audience?
Good evening, everyone. Tom Panpenny, West Pittston. Just obviously hear about a status update on the pool project. I had a conversation with Frank Bellesi a couple weeks ago. My understanding there was a bid opening. There was one complete bid, and that was gonna be then, I guess, forwarded to Mr. Stofko and then to the board for their consideration. I wanted to see what the status was of that. Was that considered, and is that something that will be on the next meeting for approval? The swim season starts on November 16th, so time is of the essence, so.
Frank, if you wanna just brief a little bit about what we discussed.
Okay, yes, Tom, we did receive a quotation, it was submitted to the board tonight, it was discussed, and if all goes well, the plan that you and I talked about doing the filtration system first, and then but then continue on with the dehumidification system, that was also discussed in detail. We had our architect was there to explain, what the moving forward would entail, and it is still our plan, with approval of the board, that once it's approved, if it's approved, then we will be moving forward with the sand filtration system, and if all goes well, we keep our fingers crossed because of delays in materials, we could we hopefully can meet the deadline that you just outlined.
Gotcha, okay. And because of that issue, we talked about supply, and I know every industry is experiencing that. Is that something that you anticipate will be on the agenda for next week to vote on, so we get moving on the project, so we can get those bids out and get those projects, those
We're hopeful
materials?
to have it on.
Okay,
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, Frank, that's our understanding, that we're able to have it considered for next week.
Yes, the board listened obviously intently, and they're very concerned about requests of the parents. They're trying to meet your requested deadline, and if all moves forward as we hope, next week the board will entertain and make the decision.
gotcha. Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other questions from the public?
Denise.
Denise?
Okay. I have a comment from Jennifer Stevens. She's asking that the school board votes to have it be parental choice for our children to wear masks. And then I have another one from Mrs. Sokolowski. Will Wyoming area be opting in to provide COVID testing and vaccines? If so, will you need parental consent? Has there been a decision on masks? Will parents be able to make the decision that they feel is best for the children? Since there is no longer an emergency declaration, are schools legally able to mandate masks for students? And what school return in the fall? Will school return in the fall? What time will dismissal be?
Denise, you sent me that email this afternoon, and I personally responded to Mrs.
Okay,
Sokolowski.
great. Okay. That's it. I don't have any more.
And then there was a comment about the vote, that's a decision pursuant to our plan that will be made by the administration in short order. So there's not gonna be a vote of the board on that particular issue.
An announcement will come out tomorrow. It'll be on our website as to what our students will need to do. We had some discussion this evening, but I'd like to discuss it with the administration and let them know what's going on, because it's good for them to put it out there. So it'll go out tomorrow. We're also reminding everyone that if their students are riding on school buses, no matter what grade they're in, they are required to wear a mask. That's school buses. So we just wanted to let you know that that's very different than what may be happening in schools. So there will be a statement tomorrow.
Actually, I got a question. Do I have to approach?
Yes.
Sorry. This is just a general vague question. Mason Byers, head varsity boys lacrosse coach. Just a question to everyone. How come the programs haven't been funded at all? Was this agreed upon once it was started, what, 7 years
That's
ago?
when it was started years ago.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
Years ago, it was supposed to be community funded.
Okay.
That's when it first started. When it first started, it was community funded
All right.
for the cross program.
Okay. Has it ever been approached afterwards to ask for any kind of funding? And again, I'm just asking.
I think they asked for donations.
We
They
get
asked for donations.
at times, but I haven't been here since.
Yeah, and I haven't either. That's why I'm asking.
7 years, we've had one donation.
One donation?
Yes.
That's how long we haven't been here.
Yeah, and again, not up here to argue, just up here to ask questions.
Yeah.
Oh, and I only ask because lacrosse is not a cheap sport. And I have a lot of people that want to play, but when they find out how much it costs, they do kind of back out.
How much does it cost?
And that's what I was gonna ask you, like, what is the cost?
So it's $250 registration fee. That's for the parents. As for the teams, helmets, shoulder pads, gloves, elbow pads. There's new regulations this year for, well, last year was goalie chest protector, cardiac. This year it's for all the players, cardiac chest protector. Makes sense, right? They're about $58 to $80 a piece. And we can't play without that. And it's gonna be kind of tough to get all of that.
You don't have like an overall price of what it would cost us?
I'm spitballing up here,
Okay.
you know, because those are stuff that we have provided in the past for the players. So let's say out of pocket, right? My kid's playing. Let's say I have to buy everything. Helmet, $160. Chest protector, let's say average 70. Gloves, 80. Stick, cheap stick, $60. Cleats, you can get cheap cleats, right? And I think that's what's holding us back from our program actually excelling. We have a ton of athletes. I mean, look at our other sports, right? Some of those want to come play, but they can't afford it. And I want to make it affordable to all players. I do.
They're also doing good.
Yes, we
They are playing good.
Our team?
Yes,
We
yes.
are, yes, we are.
Yeah, last year for boys, we had a rebuilding year, but that happens. I'm okay with that. I have a potential 8 players that want to come out that I know of, just because I have kids in the school, and they're kind of helping me get athletes, right? But they're concerned about the fees.
So, Mr. Byers, what I would recommend, and John Bonin was talking about coming in and making that request, I would provide, and I'm not commenting on whether or not they'd be on board, who would be on board with the funding, but it's important when you consider that.
Completely understand, because ice hockey's the same way, which is why we beg for money for everybody else, and Mr. Schweitzer does
Ice
that as
hockey's
well.
not PIAA.
Yeah, ice hockey's a club
It's
sport.
not, but I mean,
I coach that too.
And I just want, I'll just add one more comment. Our budget.
Could you come up and?
Sorry.
Wait, I'm just.
I couldn't just sit here, so.
Yeah, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
With Joe Pisano, does he have connections, or do you have a specific supply for the field hockey?
We have not purchased
I don't-
equipment for the boys or the girls probably in about 5 years.
What's that?
We have not purchased any equipment for the boys or girls probably in about 5 years.
But is there a specific one that you always go to, or do you shop?
There isn't because because of our funding, we have to kind of find the safest and cheapest at the same time.
What about, does Joe help you out on any guidelines on that?
I'd rather not comment on that.
When we originally purchased our equipment, we went through BSN, through Joey. If we needed equipment, in the past couple of years, we probably just went out on our own and got it.
So the school provides nothing?
The school provides the field.
Just the
The
field?
field.
Yeah, parents pay for referee fees, bus transportations, and,
All equipment?
no, field, oh, coach's salary.
Yes.
And then the players.
And we have approached the board in the past to say, could you help us out and maybe pick up the coach's salary, because that's all governed by the collective bargaining agreement. So, our budget for the last 2 years, both boys and girls, with playoffs, bus transportation, and referee fees, is roughly about $13,000 to $15,000
That's for
combined.
Boys and
Combined.
girls.
Yeah.
That's $15,000 for both programs, just to get them on the field. So every fundraiser that we do goes towards those three items.
Robbie, do
If
you
we
have
wanna-
to recondition their helmets?
I'm
too?
sorry?
Do you
Well,
guys
that-
have to
that's
They're-
kind of-
they're- That's gonna be
That's
coming up.
kind of what I was gonna
That's
get
probably in
into.
about, they're probably,
Is
some
that
of,
what
see,
they
we
are?
bought,
I think we'd be on reconditioning.
when we bought the helmets, we bought them in 2 phases. We went out, our first year, we bought 36 helmets, and then because of the interest, we went out and bought another 24 helmets. So those helmets, I think, and you guys, you're a football guy, so you may know better than me, but I think they're good for maybe 5 to 7 years before they need to get reconditioned. So you either need to recondition them, or you go out, if they say they're no good, you gotta go out and buy new ones.
Right.
And when we girls lacrosse is the only PIAA sport that is not picked up by the school district. Lakeland's girls program started 2 years ago. They're already getting funded by the school district. So,
I'll give you one example, and again, I appreciate your time. This year is very critical for us because of the improvements of the equipment. I want to have a season. I want to give the opportunity for these kids, especially these past 2 years with this COVID nonsense. But we played a game against a far out-of-town team, and they gave me balls because they knew I was not funded by the school. That's embarrassing. That's sad, in my opinion. And again, I'm not arguing, I'm just giving you my opinion. There's a youth program, Valley Laxers. It's pretty big, girls and boys. They want to come up. Valley Laxers offers some helmets that they can, some sticks, just to get them to play. And I think that's a little more lenient when it comes to the fees. You know, US Lacrosse is involved, but just asking you to take the time and seriously think about it. John will put together the memo, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Have you spoke to Mr. Pisano about this?
Not directly, only because my seasons have been a little different.
Phil, in what regards?
The
talk to
one
Joe
time I
about
did,
About the
it was to
whole
come
point
talk
about
to
the
you
funding
guys.
and-
Joey really doesn't have anything to do with funding. Joey's been really very helpful in the last couple of years for our programs.
Yeah.
He does all of our buses, he does with the program.
Well, Joey is the athletic